Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "You are the salt of the earth. But if salt becomes tasteless, what can make it salty again? It is good for nothing and can only be thrown out to be trampled underfoot by people. You are the light of the world. A city built on the hilltop cannot be hidden. No one lights a lamp to put it under a tube, but put it on the lampstand, where it shines for everyone in the house. In the same way, your light must shine in the sight of men, so that seeing your good works, they may give the praise to your Father in heaven." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
So we have a few philosophy students here in the chapel. And in metaphysics, there is something that is called the essence of a being. And what would be an essence? What is the essence of a being? Philosophy students, you are just preparing for your exams now. I'm sure you know this answer very well. What is the essence? Some of you doing metaphysics. So what is the essence of a being? What is the essence of a being? What is that? Yeah. As a real philosophy student who has studied. The essence of a being is what makes that thing, that thing. So the essence of I want to think of an example, and I don't want to think about what we have in the gospel because it's what I want to talk about. So the essence of a human being is what makes that human being a human being. The essence of a goat is what makes a goat a goat. The essence of a table is what makes this table the table it is. Okay. So just think for a minute that you have coffee. Of course, there are certain things when you feel people who take coffee, they would know. They feel the smell and the bitterness, and there are some certain substances that are combined. They taste it, they say, yes, this is coffee. That is what makes the coffee, the coffeeness of the coffee, the sugarness of the sugar. Now, think for a moment that you have sugar, which you see, this is sugar. But you realize that it is not sweet. You can see it that it is a sugar, but it is not sweet. It means that it has lost its essence of being a sugar. So the essence of our being is that which makes us the persons that we are. The essence of sugar is what makes sugar the sugar. So the sugarness of the sugar, the coffeeness of the coffee, or the saltness of the salt. Think of salt which does not taste like salt. Then it becomes like something else, but you can see it. Secondly, the essence is not found in the name. You can see something and it's sugar. The fact that it is sugar does not mean that it is actually sugar. You can call it sugar, but if it has lost its essence, it's no longer sugar, but you can see it physically and think that it is sugar. Okay? So you can see salt and you feel this is salt, but if it has lost its saltness, you can still call it salt, but it is no longer salt because the saltness is finished. So the essence is not in the name. I give you an example now, and this is what happens. There's one time in the formation house here where we had, and this is now related to the gospel because it talks about the saltness of salt. Jesus is talking about salt. If salt has lost its saltness, then it is no longer salt. This Jesus studied metaphysics. He knows that the essence of salt is in the saltness. So, and then you think about, I was giving an example of one of the students who went out for pastoral, and during the sharing, and I think sister would remember this well, I said, I went to this parish and I was very angry because I was not introduced as a seminarian. Okay? I was not introduced as a seminarian. So, and this is exactly what I want to talk about. Because we also have something that makes us Christians, and it is not in the name. The essence is not in the name. The essence is in the being. It's not in the name of salt or the person or the seminarian. I know I'm still sounding very high up there, but let me bring it down now. That we just celebrated the feast of Pentecost, the solemnity of Pentecost. And we also, by virtue of being Christians, there is something that makes us truly Christians. We are all called Christians, but there is something that makes us Christian, the Christness in the Christian, and that is the Spirit. The book of Job, chapter 32, verse 4 says that it is the Spirit that makes us alive. The Spirit created us, and the breath of God makes us alive. So what makes us the being that we are, the Christians that we are, is the Spirit that we have received. That Spirit with its gifts and its fruits, that makes us Christians. We are Christians, therefore, if we love. We are Christians if we have peace, if we are patient, if we can forgive, and many other things, the virtues, you can name them. That is what makes us Christians. That is the essence of being Christ-like. If you lose that, you can still be called a Christian, but by being, you are not really a Christian. You are no longer a Christian because you have lost the essence of being a Christian. And the essence is you must love, you must forgive, you must be generous, you must bring together conflicts, you must rejoice with those who rejoice, you must be sad with those who are sad, you must be able to reach out to others and other things. And this is what Jesus talks about. That we become seminarians, not because we are called seminarians, but by what we do as seminarians. We become sisters, not because we put on a veil, because anybody can do that, but by the way we live our lives. I become a priest not because I stand here with a chasuble and an harp, but if I live the priestly life. And we become Christians if we still have the essence of being Christians, if we can still love, if we can still be charitable, if we can still forgive each other, if we can still love our enemy, if we can still pray, then that makes us Christians. If we lose that, then we are Christians by name, but we have lost the saltness of the salt. We have lost the Christianness of being Christians. And therefore, if you go, and this is what I said, and I continue to say to seminarians, that don't wait to be introduced as a seminarian. Your deeds are going to make people to wonder, who is this? Because from your deeds, they would know there is something so different about this person. And then people would ask, where is he from? What is he? And then people would say, yeah, he's a seminarian. So you test the salt, and you feel, yes, this is salt because of the taste. You don't just see it and you call it salt, and you don't wait for it to be named salt. You have to test it and say, yes, it tastes like salt. In other words, people must see, we must be able to express who we are from our deeds. So, for instance, I come out, I'm charitable, I love people. People will begin to say, who is this person? Where is he from? He's acting so differently. Oh, he's a Christian. He's a Catholic. That is how we get to be identified, not by introducing ourselves first as Christians, but through our deeds. And Jesus says, therefore, you are the light of the world. Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world just like Christ. Your light must shine. And people seeing your good deeds will give glory to the Father. Not that people are going to identify you Christian as a Christian because you call yourself a Christian, and then they give glory to the Father. No. Through your essence of being a Christian, People will give glory to the Father. Through your works, through your deeds, when people see your light shining in the darkness, they will say, yes, there is something different about this person. And that is what it means to be a Christian. And we think he's a Christian because of his deeds. My dear brothers and sisters, and this is what Jesus is telling us today, that our light must shine. We must not lose the essence of being who we are. We must not lose the essence of being Christians. We must not lose our light. Our light must continue to shine. The essence of being Christians, the saltness of the salt, we must retain if we must continue to be salt. Then people must taste us and say, yes, this is definitely salt. We must not live a different life and answer a different name to it. It does not work. A table cannot have the essence of a human being because it's a table and not a human being. And we cannot say that we are Christians if we don't live out the life of being Christians. And we must do this not only by words, but by deeds. My dear brothers and sisters, Jesus calls us to retain our saltness. We can do this in many ways. Of course, at times we lose our saltness because of our sinfulness. But God, Jesus, through the sacraments that he has given us the opportunity to retain again, to renew our lives, and to return again our saltness. And let us continue to ask him the grace that our lights will not be extinguished, that we will not lose our saltness, but that we will retain it for the greater glory of God.